Andrew Chubb here from Awalé Resources. I just thought I would give you a quick update. I've just come back from Cote d'Ivoire. I just spent a week or 10 days there after a good week at the African Mining Endowment 1-to-1 down in Cape Town. And it was really good to get there and look at some of the core that we've been drilling. We just recently finished the drill program that we started near Christmas at the end of last year. And we've just drilled just under 4,000 meters, and we've got some pretty nice looking core coming out of the BBM discovery, and as well as some interesting core at Charger. So since the BBM release, I've been sort of asked on numerous occasions, why do we find BBM so exciting? And it really is an exciting new discovery, and we think that there is some really near-term upside potential to rapidly expand towards a first resource for the company. And so we're currently awaiting results. We expect some results to come through toward the mid to end of next March. But you know, what we saw in the core was pretty interesting, and we saw similar alteration and mineralization to the discovery holes in DD59 and DD62. So without further ado, there are definitely forward-looking statements in this little presentation. We are awaiting drill results, and I'm sort of talking a little bit about what I saw in the drill core compared to what we've reported previously. So just a quick recap on where we are. We're in the northwest of Cote d'Ivoire. We've got just under 2,500 square kilometre footprint up there in permits and applications, and we have a joint venture with Newmont in these two permits outlined in black, and the rest of the permits are 100% Awale. These four guys under application. This one an option agreement with Taraco, which we can take 100% of this year. So the Newmont JV permits cover 800 square kilometres of the 2,500 square kilometres, and our work has been over the last 2 years has been focused on this ODNE East permit here. So just drilling down on that ODNE East permit, just so you know where we are. We have made multiple discoveries. The Charger discovery is the one that led us down the path to intrusion-related and IOCG models. And subsequent to that, we actually had the Deceptor East discovery, which is a large tonnage, low-grade target, more in a porphyry style of mineralization, but large tonnage potential there of north of 500 million tonnes, over 1.5 kilometres of strike of the same geology, and we have a target grade there of 0.5% copper equivalent. BBM is the new discovery. It's definitely got near-term greater than 1 million ounce potential, but we're thinking much bigger than that on that target, based on where we're drilling and the potential extension targets, which we'll go into as well. And I think, you know, an important takeaway from all of this is that we view the project as a whole. So, you know, BBM for a small company, could easily be a flagship 2 million, north of 2 million ounce kind of deposit. Charger could deliver, we're looking at that as a higher grade plus 3 to 4 gram, million ounce kind of deposit. Each one of these has got standalone potential, but the way we view the project as a whole, and that is why Newmont is interested as well, because when you put all these targets together, they really pull together to be a potentially very large gold and copper camp in the northwest of Cote d'Ivoire. Just a quick one on scale, from north to south on this permit is approximately 33 kilometres, and east to west is about 12 kilometres. So all these targets are well within in distance of each other, but all have significant size and grade potential. So also a quick recap, we often talk about our IOCG and the fact that we get a lot of hematite alteration along with magnetite as well. The clinopyroxene regional potassic alteration. The potassic alteration is pervasive throughout the project area. And then those copper, gold, molybdenum, silver signatures, plus bismuth, plus tungsten as well. They all point towards the intrusion related part of the model. The deposits like, or the projects or targets like BBM are strongly structurally controlled as well. So I will also often talk about it as a hybrid model because there is definitely an intrusion related system, but it's still strongly structurally controlled. And this is just drawing the comparison of our position on the edge of an Archean craton here, or older rocks to the southwest, is very similar to the Carias province in the center, adjacent to or on the edge of the central Amazonian craton, or the IOCG province in South Australia, the Olympic Dam province. It's the same thing where we have Proterozoic volcanics or supercrustal rocks on the margin of an Archean craton. And so there are definitely significant similarities between what we're seeing at Odiene and the alteration systems and the structural setting of those deposits. So just again, a quick sort of recap showing these late intrusions and the fact that we have 4 significant discoveries. Charger has got multiple plus 100 gram intercepts. Empire down here, multiple plus 100 gram intercepts. Scepter, as I mentioned, more of a larger tonnage, low grade porphyry style discovery. And then BBM, our recent discovery, which has got beautiful thicknesses of mineralization, sort of 44 meters down hole in the discovery hole for a true, giving us a true width of 30 to 35 meters, with significant copper and gold or gold and copper mineralization with moly and silver as well. So the AU equivalents are significantly higher than the gold grades that we're seeing, and we only drilled 4 holes into this BBM target, 4 scout drill holes that returned that discovery, and the recent drill program has drilled some infill and extension holes, and they are looking really nice as well. We're seeing very similar or the same silica, biotite, silica and sulfide assemblages that we saw in the discovery holes. So just coming into sort of drilling down on that BBM area there. So this is the whole area, this whole corridor we referred to as the BBM corridor. We potentially need to change the name of BBM, the BBM discovery, to delineate it from the rest of the targets that lie along an 8 kilometre long corridor there. And then at the northern end of it is a prospect which we've just started drilling as well, and something for future discussion, which is the Lando anomaly, which is a 4 kilometre long gold, copper, molybdenum geochemical anomaly as well. Another huge footprint that we're currently drilling and exploring as well. So we selected an approximate, a bit over 1 kilometre long section of that 8 kilometre anomaly. It is a higher order section of the anomaly, and we drilled on the initial program 4 holes. These blue holes represent those 4 holes. This is approximately 1 kilometre between the southeast and northwest holes, and in the middle of those that we have 2 more holes. And subsequently we've done some infill and extension drilling down here to the southeast, but up to the northwest, because we think, and the drilling has shown that there is quite. It looks like there is a plunge which travels to the northwest, so plunging chutes which plunge at about 40 to 50 degrees towards the northwest along this structure. This structure is prominent in the aerial mag survey that we did. It's clear from the geochemistry as well that really what we have to the southwest is an granodiorite or intrusion, and to the northeast we have metasediment and volcaniclastic rocks, and then we have a shear zone which effectively travels along the margins of that contact, and as you drill the holes, you see going in from sort of very weakly or unfoliated granodiorites, getting more and more strong. The strain increases as you move down hole and towards the mineralization, and then you get very high strain rocks within the mineralization, and then out into the footwall, high strain rocks, and then weaker mineralization in the footwall, but there is still mineralization there as well. The next slide just shows the discovery section, and this section that we've recently completed drilling with results pending, about 150 meters to the northwest of that discovery section. So just here on the left hand side is the results that we announced with the discovery section. What's reported there is a slightly higher grade interval at 32 meters at 1.5, which is within that 44 meters at 1.1 grams per ton, and the hole 62 had 18 meters at 1.8 grams per ton plus copper, silver and molybdenum, but again that was within a much broader intercept, which is reflected by that hatched mineralized zone along the contact, and that definitely, that is showing that the mineralization is predominantly within the granodiorite host, with a little in the footwall of the metasedimentary rocks in the footwall. This is just classic stuff. We have a shear zone. We have brittle ductile contrast between your rheology contrast between the hanging wall granodiorite or intrusive rocks and the footwall sedimentary rocks. And this is also a chemical trap as well. So it's a classic setting for getting beautiful mineralization, and it's something that we can easily chase. We're currently doing some induced polarization surveys, which we are sure will show up that contact beautifully. But because of the large amounts of sulfide associated with the mineralization, pyrite, chalcopyrite predominantly, associated with the mineralization. We've also found a little bit of free gold in the drilling at BBM as well, which is not unusual. Empire was a free gold system, or is a free gold system, and so is Charger. There's plenty of free gold at Charger, which is probably a second event over an earlier gold and sulfide event for the brecciation. But you can see in the photos here there is significant amount of sulfides, pyrite and chalcopyrite mineralization within high strain and sometimes folded granodiorite there with very strong biotite alteration. And sort of this photo here is from the recent drill hole with results pending, and this is very similar to the mineralization that we saw in hole 62 and 59. So you can effectively pick the rocks up from that drill core and put them in the boxes with of 59 and 62, and we see the same mineralization and potentially actually a lot more. It looks like more sulfide in some of that, but we definitely have a high silica alteration zone which really delineates that mineralization. So we drilled 3 holes on that step out section, these 3 here. This is a planned hole for the next program, which is stepping back and going down deeper again. And now that we've got significant amounts of drill core as well, we're picking up on lineations in the drill core, which actually matches an apparent plunge to the alteration that we're seeing. So we need the results to back it up. But the next slide, I have a long section, which is cut. So these sections are cut perpendicular to the strike of the geology. The long section is cut parallel to the strike of the geology, so it actually goes all the way along the mineralization. So just a quick sort of step, if I can, just a quick step into that. So as I said, this is actually looking towards the northeast along the strike of the mineralization, and the dots on there are what we call pierce points, where the drill holes are coming through this section. The purple is the 4 holes that we drilled prior. We got some call outs there, but for gram meter intercepts. But 59, 48 gram meters and 62, 32 gram meters. And up here is just sort of stretching lineations, or some call them L-tectonites, that we can see in the drill core. And this matches that. This lineation actually matches an apparent trend in the alteration that we've seen from the new drilling. And so the framework drilling that we are planning to do next actually starts to test these plunges, and also starts searching for new shoots. This is a 1.2 kilometer section of the geology, so the drilling is very sparse. There is, from the drilling that we've done, where really the minimum width that we've got so far is roughly 150 meters between sections. So that's a long way between sections. And so the next round of drilling will test these plunge extents to mineralization that if the plunge is as we think it is, it will just keep going. Most of these deposits, you see the plunge keep running once you have delineated where it is. And then we've got other step out holes which are searching for other shoots within that system, which will really push us rapidly towards significant amounts of mineralization, and at this initial part of the BBM target. So for us, it's a really exciting prospect, and we think it's got a lot of legs, and are really excited to be getting the results in a few weeks, because we think they're going to be very good, and then to move in to the next phase of drilling, which is what I call framework drilling. So we're just trying to scope out and understand the geological continuity, as well as the continuity of the gold and copper mineralization, and then we can then take that into the next phase, which would be more of a resource development phase. And I actually see these projects, all our targets are in this stage for 2024. So the project is significantly de-risked now, and as we start to advance the discoveries that we have made, particularly here at BBM, and then Charger, and then Scepter. So the next slide is, we have just a quick footnote on Charger, because we've recently, as part of the recent program, we started to test this new orientation, but we were focused on this west-northwest orientation of mineralization in previous drilling, and this new drilling of these blue holes here, we're really trying to push or test whether that northwest has a stronger structural control on mineralization. So the previous drilling had intercepted 2 breccias which sit roughly in this zone, and that's this cross section here. So this is the cross section AA, and it comes through, and here and just here we've intercepted these two breccia zones where we got some really good mineralization in all the drilling that went through those holes. It seemed to improve with, it seemed to get wider and improve with depth. They've both got down plunge potential. I'm pretty sure, or we're all quite convinced that they're pipes now. And these are just, if you look at it this way, where's my hand? We have fingers of mineralization coming up in pipes, but we want to look at the potential of them coalescing. And in this recent drilling, this hole PDH, which is planned drill hole 4, which we now call drill hole 83, it actually comes down and underneath this OERC 89 intercept, which was actually the discovery intercept at Charger in our very first drill program there. And we got some interesting mineralization in 89 and the hematite magnetite breccia and alteration that sort of led us down the intrusive related and IOCG sort of path, which then led on to the Scepter discovery and subsequently the BBM discovery as well. But we now, this is hole 83 coming down through right underneath that intercept, and we actually didn't find the breccia that was similar to these guys here in drill holes 45 and 44 and 53. But this hole came right down underneath. We've inferred a fault in there, which may be sort of cutting off mineralization or just acting as a cap if it's a slightly older structure. But the point is that we have intercepted the same breccia and got the widest intercept of one of these breccia pipes before. So it's actually a new breccia pipe, which is off section from this one, but it would sit out here again, and the idea that these are going to coalesce together is what we'll start to be testing in a new phase of drilling. But we have over 65 meters of downhole breccia mineralization. Here is we've got here a photo of what that breccia looks like, and in the upper parts, or it's hard to say whether it's a hanging wall in football, but in the upper parts where this is yellow, this is a visible gold section where we saw visible gold through here, and then the mineralization through here is dominantly pyrite, chalcopyrite mineralization with clinopyroxene and biotite alteration as well. And silica is always part of this breccia system as well. But so this is a really exciting hole for us as well, because it is the largest amount of breccia that we've actually seen, and it does potentially mean that those northwest structures have more of a control on fluids and mineralization, and also the fact that we've now found a third breccia zone. We are quite convinced that they're pipes. The pipes might be structurally controlled, but they're definitely pipes coming up, and we're really keen to start stepping out from this intercept, so a long strike from this intercept, but also coming down underneath it as well. So Charge is looking more and more interesting as we keep drilling it. I've always liked this target because it is a breccia. Breccias can always deliver some really high grade mineralization, and the early holes at Charger have been proving that with plus 100 gram meter intercepts, and so we're still really excited about Charger as a target as well. So that's it from this discussion for now. So in summary, we're seeing some really nice geology in that recently completed drilling, continuity of alteration and sulfide mineralization at BBM. That looks like we've got a plunge. So as long as the results actually from the lab actually follow on from what we're seeing in the drill core, we see no reason why it won't, because of the similarities to the discovery holes. And then ready for that framework drilling along with the IP. The IP crew should be arriving on site early next week to get started on the orientation survey at BBM. As well as some deeper IP lines at Charger and Scepter East. And as I've just mentioned, at Charger we've intercepted some what is at the moment interpreted to be a new breccia pipe that has the widest downhole intercept of breccia that we've had to date, with the right sort of alteration and sulfide mineralization, along with some visible gold too. So we're hoping to get some good results out of that drill hole 83 as well. And then Charger is then ripe for similar kind of framework drilling that we're talking about at Charger. And then with the new IP at Scepter East, we're looking at sort of drilling some system holes and maybe some deeper holes to see if we can get some broader intercepts at BBM. The deepest hole we've drilled to date is only 360 meters there, and it's mineralized from 6 meters down hole to end of hole, we're looking at developing some deeper IP targets with the next round of IP. So sort of exciting drill year for Awale, and what should be a transformatory year for the company. Really very much a gear change, and we're all really excited about where we're going, and the fact that we continue to drill and press the project, asking more questions, and the project continues to deliver, both with discovering new prospects and also drilling the more holes at Charger and so forth, and we're still getting good results. So the more pressure we're putting on the project, the more it seems to be delivering, which is also a really, really good sign for us. So thanks very much for your time, and I look forward to keeping you up to date on the Awale story as it should rapidly develop throughout 2024. Thank you.